Well, so from a professional standpoint, when did things start kind of changing for you and Paul? And did that change like from a personal for you guys too, or was that kind of one and the same for you?
At what point?
Just as things kind of developed on, like later on, as things started changing for you in ECW, when you became like established as like this long reigning champion and kind of developing into the top star of ECW, the face of ECW in a lot of ways.
Just like any relationship, yeah, the more I knew him, the more we became friends, uh, the more trust that I felt like he had in me, and the more belief that I felt like he had in me. You know, I told you before, I heard that a few of us had favored nations, which to people that don't know what that means that no one's getting paid more than you. And if they bring in someone like Sid Vicious and pay him a bunch of money, they got to pay you
They
a
got
bunch
to
of
pay
money.
you that much, yeah.
Yeah. I think that Paul treated us all like that. You know, one example that comes to mind was he was manipulative, you know, and I didn't see it as much then. Sabu saw it. And then the more Sabu would explain it to me and I would see it, I kind of appreciated it. Like I thought it was funny, you
Yeah,
know.
sure. No, I get that.
It didn't make me not like him, you know,
Yeah.
except for like when he starved Sabu out. That was kind of bad. And that was between them two. But besides that, I kind of thought it was funny because sometimes he doesn't know. Sometimes Paul would make a choice like, should I sell this really dramatically or not? You know, if I say stuff, I can say something like, Paul, you know, that you know that guy still came over to my house and he still bothered me. And then Paul's got to make decisions. Like, are you serious? And I'd be like, not the right choice. Like, okay, Paul, calm down. I'd be like, you know, you could have sold that way less. I'm not
Yeah,
that.
come on, not that big of a
Not
deal.
that serious, but he didn't know how I was feeling about it, you know?
Sure, yeah, yeah,
So he
yeah.
tests you to see how you're feeling about it off of his reaction, and then he goes with that. And I've just learned that about him. I remember one time in Boston at the Greyhound dog track in Revere. That was a cool place to smoke. And we hung out on the bleachers, like watching the dogs run and stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. And we had a meeting on the bleachers. But before that, we were in our smoking room. God damn it!
Third time's a charm, though.
I'm gonna quit doing that. I keep setting it. I set it on a coffee mug because I want it to be a little higher. It's
Dude,
not.
you're just like me. That's what I do when I watch YouTube on my
Thank
phone.
God the coffee mug's empty. Okay. Paul, anyway, says to us, meaning me and Sabu, I don't think there was, I mean, we had like Bobby Duncan Jr. was in our clique, Pee Wee, but he was talking to us and he said, I'm going to call a meeting in about 10 minutes. I'm going to say everybody needs to be there. You two don't need to be there. So that's just setting you up, you know, for people to be talking crap about you, you know.
Sure, absolutely.
Hey, we're Sabu and Arvidio, they don't need to be here. And then I'm sure Paul will be like, I don't know. Has anyone seen
them? I told them to be here.
Yeah, probably. Has anyone seen RVD or Sabu?
He like makes a moment to tell everybody that. Has anybody seen Rob and Sabu?
That's probably what he was doing. Right? We were like, okay, cool, we'll keep smoking. So, he was. I thought it was funny. I just, you know, like I say, except for when him and Sabu had a falling out, it was business. And then like he was banned. Like Paul would contact the other shows that Sabu was booked at and say, hey, you can't use him. He's under contract. And it was like he was starving him out. Like he couldn't work anywhere and Paul wasn't paying him. And that wasn't cool. You know, that was a really uncomfortable moment where I was trying to grasp the situation enough to know, like, what can I do about this, if anything?
Right.
Because Sabu was his top guy, and now he's in solitary confinement, and I'm the top guy, you know. And it's like, oh, hold on, you know, like, should I be making some demands, or should I, you know, what's going on here? And it was, you know, it was a rough time. But besides that, I always thought Paul's shenanigans were funny.
No, and to your point, it's like that's kind of endearing in a lot of ways when you have a personality like that, where you're like, all right, I get what you're up to, but I kind of respect it in a lot of ways.